Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mimi Folco from Harvey Mountain Alchemy. I am a tarot reader, astrologer, numerologer, among other things. So today we're going to be looking at the astrology for October 4th to October 10th. That is Monday to Sunday coming up. We've got about 5 aspects to get through, so I want this to be sort of a chill environment. If you're looking for your tarot reading for this week, and especially about the new moon coming up, I just posted that yesterday. You can check that out on my channel. For now, grab your cup of tea and sit back and let's get started. For the most part, before we get even into the aspects themselves, most of what is happening is in an air sign. So this week especially, you may be feeling really up in the clouds. Maybe there's a lot of anxiety, or maybe there's a lot of ideas that you have to come up with. You're working on your interpersonal relationships. That's really, really prevalent this week. So because we do have a lot of this air going on, whatever else that isn't in air is kind of clashing with it. It's not working well with it. It's not really teaming up with it very well. So starting on Monday, October 4th, we have Mercury in Libra, trine Jupiter in Aquarius. So the last time that we saw this was during the Pisces full moon. And what's different about this time is that both planets are retrograde. Mercury went into retrograde on September 27th. And so now Mercury and Jupiter are both retrograde, which basically means you don't have to freak out about it like we all like to with retrogrades. It just means that it's a more internalized energy. And what's happening in October especially is that a lot of planets that are retrograde, we have 6 right now, 4 of them are going to be going direct this month. So there's going to be a lot of that gust of wind. That's what I've been feeling for this month, because there's so many air placements and so many things are going from retrograde to going direct. There's sort of going to be this gust of wind that's pushing us forward, and with our ideas and our relationships, because it's in these air signs. So with Mercury in Libra, it wants to connect and communicate with others in a harmonious way. It wants to make sure that everything is fair, that it's balanced. And Jupiter is in Aquarius, which means that it's looking for big ideas about what you want the future to look like, what you want your community to look like. So this aspect in particular seems like a really, really good time to put yourself out there and to communicate with others and the universe about what it is you want your community and your future to look like. This is an aspect about progress and having ideas for what you want your progression to look like. So communicating with your loved ones is really important. Having that open line of communication, because Jupiter is so expansive, it's optimistic, it's looking towards the brightness. This is a really good time to have a conversation about maybe those tougher things so that we come at it with a more optimistic perspective. What is still a little tough about this is because it is retrograde, it may be difficult to get the right words out. So definitely make sure that you triple check what it is your intention is, what you're actually trying to say, so that your words don't get misconstrued or misunderstood. I would say to see what relationships you have that you are willing to put in the effort, that you want to show those people how you care for them. And on the flip side of that, notice who's putting in an effort for you. I think this is a good time for group projects because there's this energized feeling about it. And I also think, Mercury retrograde maybe is not the best time to travel, but if there is a time to travel, I would say it's when Mercury is trine Jupiter, because Mercury rules your tight-knit community, nearby travel, short distance, a commute, and Jupiter rules foreign travel. So these are making a trine aspect with each other. They are happy. So if you need to travel, I would say this Monday would be the perfect time to do it. Next, what we have is the new moon on Wednesday, October 6th. This new moon is in Libra, and I think the blanket statement for a new moon in Libra is releasing relationships that don't serve you anymore, releasing ideas, releasing the concept of fairness or rightness. Maybe what you believe is right might not be the most aligned or correct or accurate, because your feelings are valid, but it doesn't mean that they are accurate. So this new moon in Libra, I would say, is a really fantastic time for assessing your relationships with others, but also really assessing the relationship with you. This new moon is happening at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that means that it is in the first house, because it's and during the sunrise, essentially. So when we have Libra in the first house, it's opposing energy. Libra naturally rules the 7th house. So with this new moon in Libra in the first house of I am, of my identity, of myself, of who I truly believe that I am, it asks us to release the relationships that no longer serve the current version of yourself. And what's also happening on this day is Pluto is going direct. So this is the first of the 4 planets that's going direct this month. And Pluto goes direct the same day as the new moon. So all of that, Pluto internalized that excavation work we've been doing for about 6 months. I think it's been since April, so it's been about 5 months now that Pluto's been retrograde. And that's when it asks us to go inward for our own self-healing and to find transformation within ourselves. It is hard work, and it's in Capricorn, so it's sort of saying to rebuild the system upon which your identity was built. That's not light stuff. And so the new moon in Libra could be really frilly, gentle, light, fluffy and rainbows. But with Pluto going direct, I mean, no new moon is really fluffy and rainbows if you're doing the hard work. But with Pluto going direct here, this is such a healing and transformative new moon. So I would highly suggest ritual for this new moon, and some form of moon water, whatever works for you, or writing your intentions about what relationships you are looking to release, or what aspects of your relationship with yourself that you need to release that are no longer serving you, what you are no longer looking for in a relationship, romantic or otherwise, or with the self. This new moon in Libra is really asking us to let go of those ideas that only served our past versions of ourselves. Going forward, we are evolving, and Pluto going direct is saying all that hard excavation work that you've done within yourself is now going to be ready to show to the world. It is being externalized. You may be feeling a test. Maybe, Pluto, you did all that excavation work and some sort of external circumstance is going to be testing that work that you did. So now is the time for you to really prove, not to others. It's not about others, especially because it's in the first house and we are releasing the relationship to others or the dependency on other people's opinions of us. But this Pluto direct at the same time as the new moon in Libra is asking you to prove to yourself, or just to validate the work that you have done on yourself, that hard work that you've done, and how you've shed the old version of yourself in the last 5 months. Libras love to have tidy or clean or beautiful surroundings. What you have to do, and the last 5 months have probably shown you this, you had to make some sort of mess in order to clean it up. You cannot clean without having a mess first. That brings us to Saturday, October 9th. And what's happening on October 9th is the Sun, Mercury, and Mars are all conjunct, which means that they're all going to be together in the sign of Libra, and they're all going to be at 16 degrees. So the reason that I bring up the degrees is because this would be a really good project or thing for you to do and look at where in your natal chart is 16 degrees Libra for you. So that's where this energy that I'm about to talk about will be showing up really powerfully in your chart. So say you have it in the 5th house. This is going to be showing up in your relationship to children, in your relationship to your inner child, in your sense of play, in your expression, in your sense of fun as well. Sun and Mars are both fiery planets, right? The Sun rules your life force, what drives you, and Mars rules the action that you take. I would say this is a really good time to just start a Libran project. So home renovation, or tell somebody how much you appreciate having them in your life. Working on maybe those codependency struggles that you've been having. So depending on where this is in your chart, it's going to affect that area of your life. Each of the 12 houses rule an area of your life. If you're interested in knowing more about that, I would suggest doing a search, or I will be teaching an astrology course very soon. You can keep up to date with me as I have a newsletter, and you can sign up for that on harveymountainalchemy.com. So Sun, Mercury, Mars conjunct on the 9th at 16 degrees. Highly, highly suggest looking at where that is in your chart, and leave a comment below where 16 degrees Libra is in your chart. I'm curious. So lastly, last thing I have to talk to you about is on Sunday, October 10th, Saturn is going direct. So this is the second of 4 planets that's going direct this month. Had Pluto earlier, now it's Saturn. Saturn has been retrograde for the last 4 months, and it provided an insightful time, definitely, about the fears we may need to release or what karmic debts we owed or were owed to us. I think this was very internalized in that maybe we felt like we were restricting ourselves. It wasn't about the external circumstances, or it could have been, but I think that we embodied this Saturn retrograde pretty heavily because Saturn rules our fears, our limitations, restrictions. It also rules the reward that we get after putting in hard work. So it's finally going direct, and I honestly think that this is a really potent time to assess how it is you can benefit society. With Saturn in Aquarius, we are looking at the rules that we have built together as a community, a large community, because Aquarius is that 11th house, like-minded people. It's the, the internet, because we're all connecting with each other on the internet, just like I am now. And so this Saturn going direct, it's asking you to put the perspective that you've gained from the last 4 months and putting work in. Saturn likes it when you do the work, and then you will get to reap those rewards later. But putting in the work is really important. So asking yourself how you want to contribute to society, how you want to be seen as a beneficiary of society. Contribution is really, really important. So supporting those causes that you truly believe in would be a really good idea beginning Sunday, October 10th. We are living in a very, very influential and powerful time where the rules are being asked to change, being demanded to be changed. So your stance on human rights issues or, just that humanitarian energy, it's being asked to show up with Saturn going direct. I also think that with Saturn in Aquarius going direct, finding your community might be less tiresome. Whereas the last 4 months, trying to find your people, just finding those people that fit with you, that you fit in with, may have been really tough. And you had to ask yourself the questions of, what is it that I'm looking for in a community? And how much work do I want to put in? So it's more about asking yourself and reflecting about the work that needs to be done in order to gain a community. Whereas now when it's going to go direct on the 10th, it's going to be more about, here's what needs to get done. I'm sure you'll find some internet friends or, some form of community, some sort of group of people that align with you so that you can build your sense of connectedness with society. So that was the astrology for this coming week. I hope that you like this format. Let me know in the comments below what it is that you like format wise for astrology. This is new to me, so I'm really open to whatever seems right for you guys. Enjoy the new moon. Really, really indulge in that release of what no longer serves this version of you. You are growing, you are evolving, you are strong. If you want to know about your tarot reading for the new moon, you can head on over to my channel. I have a new moon tarot reading up as of yesterday. Thank you very much. I hope you're doing well, and lots of love and blessings.